All right, what is cathodic protection? What does it do? What does it apply to? Why do we have it? So what is called cathodic protection? So cathodic protection is the process of trying to prevent, mitigate corrosion. When you ask yourself, what is corrosion? Corrosion is when metal, either in the atmosphere or buried underground, is corroding due to the elements caused by electrical little paths. Okay? Cathodic protection fights that corrosion, especially in the pipeline industry, which is what we're going to cover today. So, here we have examples of corrosion in different types of pipe. Depending on how corrosive the environment is of the soil restivity and the condition, we'll have different size pitting and how fast the actual corrosion happens. Okay, so there's two ways with cathodic protection to protect your pipeline system. There's anodic and impressed. And we're going to dive down a little bit deeper into those right now. So with the anodic system, this is used for smaller sections of steel pipeline. Mind you, this is also buried below the ground. It's not above the ground. So instead of protecting miles of pipe, this might only protect a few hundred yards. And this actually connects to what's called an anode. And the anode connects through a wire to the pipeline and protects it. Now, how does it do this? Well, the anode is a sacrificial metal. It's usually made of zinc or magnesium. It's buried with the pipeline, connects with a wire, and then makes a loop back. So the pipeline's gaining electrons, and the anode, bag of magnesium, is losing electrons, and it's actually sacrificing itself to protect the pipeline, otherwise known as sacrificial anode. Other types of this is like your water heater will have sacrificial anodes in it as well. Now the impressed current system is a little bit different and requires a little more theory to it. So with an impressed current system, it is hooked to, the pipeline's hooked to what we call a rectifier. What a rectifier is power comes off the high lines, goes to the rectifier, kind of like your home, AC power. This rectifier then takes that power, converts it from AC to direct current to DC. One end hooks to the pipeline, one end hooks to a bunch of anodes like we just discussed in the previous slide. The anodes that it hooks to, it's called an anode bed. They're buried deep, 200, 300, 500 feet sometimes. We're talking 20-pound bags of magnesium and or zinc that are now sacrificing themselves to protect this pipeline. And you're asking me, okay, why can't you just do the first one and not this one? Well, this one, imagine like a cell phone booster. It covers miles and miles of steel pipe to protect it. Now with this, there's also measurements that have to be done. In Code of Federal Regulation 192, an operator who operates a steel pipeline system has to go check these rectifiers 6 times per calendar year, not to exceed 2.5 months per time. And as I just previously stated, according to 192.643, rectifiers must be checked 6 times per calendar year, and also with your pipe, it has to have pipe to soil reading that is checked once per calendar year, and that reading has to be negative 850 volts DC or more negative of a higher number to actually be protecting your pipeline correctly. So, in conclusion, if you have steel pipe in the ground, even if it's pipeline or some other type of steel for utility or your own home, you should definitely check out and see if it's protected correctly.